Hmm. Yeah, I'm just another rough day. um, no, nothing happened at La Poubelle. I'm like looking at the Freedom Corner. This is something I've been protesting that I had to like leave after a while. There was a thing that that my presence got all my haters money. That was a hard realization to realize that when I went and protested the Freedom Corner, that they wanted me to protest because they needed a boogeyman. Yeah, just there's been so many like I've had like hateful comments, and this last like 2 weeks have just been so hateful and so demeaning, and it's just not the truth. It's not the truth. This diagram is a bunch of research into the Freedom Corner. My stream yesterday. Yeah, the stream yesterday, I think, destroyed my relationship with Laura. And that's hard to stomach, but it's just the reality. But that's just what it is, man. I've my actions have caused her to lose friends. And they've all turned on her. And it's my fault. And I've caused a lot of drama for her this last couple of weeks, which I don't think is drama, but I don't think she sees. I don't think they see how complex and I just don't think anyone sees what I see. And I guess I haven't been able to convey that in a proper way that doesn't seem aggressive. And I hope that I haven't destroyed her friendships, because that was never the intent. I don't really think that. I don't know why she got the attack because of me, because she pretty much hasn't agreed with me at all with any of it. She actually defended Aaron more than she defended me. And, you know, I just feel so let down by everyone because of how many times I've been arrested, how many times I've had guns put to my head. Like, why would I defend these people? Like, why would I stand up and protest and stuff if they're just gonna like fucking not even like, it's not even like have a different opinion. It's just like motherfuckers are on a mission to like try to destroy me. I'm just not a bully. That's just not the truth. I always defend people who are being bullied. For Nora to say that, that like I literally defended Danny and I defended Cam. For her to even say that it was wrong how I did it is just so fucked up. So fucked up how lying about the meth and all that. Like, this person, whether you're traumatized or being in a cult, like, and this is the thing, like, these guys are all former cult members. They didn't have the education. They don't know how to have I didn't hurt anybody. Well, I heard Laura. And yeah, like, I don't know why I like stream. I guess I wanted people to see, like, because I could turn off the stream and not fucking stream for months and be okay. I just want people to see the emotional damage or the emotional heartache or the roller coaster that one has to do to fight Scientology, and to see how dangerous it is. I don't think I need help. I don't think I have. I don't think I need therapy. I've had issues with my family. A lot of it has to do with alcohol and Jesus. It seems to be a recurring theme with issues with people. A lot of times it's alcohol. An inability to have conversations, or things are forgotten real quickly with alcohol. Not really a big fan of drinking. Like, I like to drink, but I don't like how most people are on alcohol. But I'm not like traumatized. I'm traumatized by like the attacks on my mom, the rape of my mom, like talking about raping my mom. I am traumatized by that. It hasn't stopped me, but I have drawn a whole lot of boundaries because of that. And it's interesting that narrative of me attacking those people or whatever are like flowing into this stuff. I don't need to talk. Like, my therapy is like going to the waterfall. I feel a great sense of freedom and happiness. My happiness comes from sitting along a river or an ocean, being at the beach, being in the forest. That's my therapy. I always seem to like recenter myself. No, and it's, it was nice to be at La Poubelle last night. It was nice to see Aja and Danny and Ashley and Leah show up. That's the one thing I fear that. Well, I fear if I leave that's not gonna like that. The La Poubelle is pretty much gonna die out and be done with, and Francois would have won, and no matter what people say or criticize about me, I bring people out. I get people out protesting, and see these types of comments. You guys are fucking psychopaths, really. Psychopaths. I don't. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Like, therapy implies that there's something wrong with me, and I think therapy is great for a lot of people, a whole lot of people. But if you want to cancel me, then maybe that's the best thing. Maybe Aaron's correct. Maybe I am causing division. Maybe it was wrong to yell at Nora for twisting the truth and saying, pretty much just lying out her mouth is what she was doing. Maybe because there's so much more than Scientology, and what I just don't understand about all this is I just feel like I've literally been fighting for this SPTV community, and they just yeah. I mean, I just it's like, and truthfully, it's almost toxic because they're in the drama all the time. They're going through the drama all the time. So it's like, I don't know, sometimes I think things just need to be let alone and not talked about. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't feel like I have trauma. I have trauma from a family member drinking, and I wouldn't say that's trauma. It's just I just know exactly what I don't want in my life, and because there's no reasoning with someone who's been drinking like that, and yeah, so I just feel yeah, I got trauma. Okay, let's be real. I have trauma from all the court stuff, and what's Ron Hubbard's thing? You give them lawsuits and you keep them. No, and it's been cool to see, you know, even yesterday having 1,500 people here. Um, I definitely have a lot of people watching. People just criticizing me. You know, but this is the one thing that I'm different than all the SPTV community is the ability to have others on panel with me who I disagree with. Because right now, I don't think there's really anybody. I don't think anyone in the SPTV community really holds panels with people to let them say what they want to say. And even though, thank you, Matt. You know, like I don't want to like. I don't want to like give up. I don't want to like, because I feel like I so fucking emotional this month. Fucking hate it. Um, no, that's the whole thing is this keeping it in private. That's what Scientology does. They keep everything hidden, and so nobody could see, right? They don't allow people to like speak out and let the community make the decision. And that's something I see with everybody. That's something I see with everybody is this thing. And like I'm looking at my Freedom Corner notes. Like I'll just show you this real quick. Here's Henry. Let's add Henry up. Let me stop sharing. Hold on, give me 1 second, Henry. Stop sharing. It's better be you, Henry.
Nigger.
Fucking people. Sounds like that might have been Saul Goodman right there. That sounded like Saul Goodman. I just needed to laugh. I needed to like talk, man. I need you guys to see what I'm going through. Whether it's a low point for me, or if it's hard for me to stomach to watch this later. But I think that everyone needs to see the emotional roller coaster that I'm going through, and what I've gone through, because I am you got the real one here now. Hey, bud.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Listen, man, I understand what you're going through. And for the people that think that I'm an ass kisser, I don't think you're perfect. Probably the biggest F up you had out of many of the other ones, but the biggest one was the encampment. I understand why, primarily the stress, but what you're going through right now, as far as specifically the character destruction, I've seen so many times with other activist movements, particularly with the eco activists that I've known very well. And during the peak, like during COVID and then shortly after COVID with the Black Lives Matters protesters, there was a lot of infiltration, and a lot of the churches that were behind trying to both rally support for and give financing to help protesters, post bail and whatnot. They did a very poor job at outing bad actors. It's why a lot of the financial frauds and scams that people saw inevitably go live on what happened, all of that was a culmination of these little steps that inevitably led to a very big blowout publicly. And so personally, I want to test two things. I've worked with foundation leaders and I've received money from foundations. It's a very simple process. It doesn't matter how many people issue public criticism. It's a very simple state of when somebody asks a question, you say, here's an email, contact me. I list out your questions very specifically and I will address them and then list the answers publicly. And typically what they do afterwards is those same questions, they post an FAQ, frequently asked questions list, on their webpage. And that way other people in the future can easily see it. It's really not that big a deal. It takes maybe 5 minutes to do. That's number one. Number two, the character destruction I saw, especially from a self-proclaimed foundation leader, was just not professional behavior. There's a lot more I can say, but to go out there and have a figurehead of a foundation make so many just absolutely insane comments is, number one, detrimental to the image of the foundation, and number two, it very clearly puts off anybody else that genuinely might need help from the foundation from approaching it. And number three, it stops any sort of conversation that is not just between foundation members, but other people who wish to see what the foundation is up to. And you ultimately are doing yourself a disservice. You want people to understand what your foundation is doing. The way you have that is through conversation. And for simple questions that people had, it's a very easy thing to take care of. You don't need to go on an entire hour-long tirade. You could very simply have answered those questions in private, and it's just not professional. There was no need for it. And again, there's a lot more I can say, but specifically on that front, it was just absolutely bizarre and unhinged behavior. I was very disappointed and saddened to see it, and probably even more so for people who might not publicly want to speak out about it, but any other professional, every other foundation leader I've seen, even with dissent that they've seen publicly, they've very calmly addressed it behind the scenes and issued out a public statement and allowed other people to have public discourse. There's just no need to try to control a narrative is a very, very dangerous thing. And I just, for the life of me, I don't see why anybody would ever feel the need to.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for giving your opinions, and I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done, and I hope to see you back here.
Yep. Appreciate you having me on, man. I'll see you. Take care.
All right. Thank you. Hey, trucker
What's
girl.
up, brother?
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you? You don't look so great.
I'm going through some things. You working?
Get on a flight and fly to Florida so I can kick you in your pants, and then I'll send you back.
Where are you at? Are you in Florida? Or are you in North Carolina?
I'm in North Carolina.
You're in North Carolina.
It's the weekend. Of course I'm in North Carolina.
So, how was your 4th of July?
It was awesome. I got to spend it with Miss Sparky.
Yeah.
We had the sling out. So she had a good time in that.
Nice.
Mary,
You guys went up along the beach
Marianne,
on the sling.
huh?
Marianne came, Blues Lady. Blues
Yep.
Lady was out there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Mary Beth, Marianne, the neighbors, Jay, Kaylin, some of their friends. We had a house full.
Oh, nice. Jay was there.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, good. Good.
I got a text message from him last night. Do what?
From Jay? From Jay?
Yeah, I got a text message last night from him. His father's not doing good.
Oh.
The doctors gave him about a week.
Oh my God. Poor
Yeah.
Jay.
And he's got court on Monday.
And he has court on Monday.
Oh my God. What does he have court on Monday for?
Which one is this?
Wrapping up the contempt and moving on to the other motions.
Chris said wrapping up the contempt and moving on to the other ones.
Poor Jay. Poor Jay. Like when I think I have problems, I think of other people who really have problems. And
Well, he can pick up and move his house, but he can't.
Right, you can pick up and move your house. Jay can't.
I heard that they just found out that you're a grandmother.
Yeah, it's like, hello. Okay there, Miss Starlink.
This is Dad Aunt, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
Dad
mean,
Aunt,
come
Dad
on.
Aunt is the
and she thought I was young too. That was the funny part. She's gonna criticize my wrinkles, but yet she thinks I'm young. I'm like, okay, thanks for the compliment there, bitch. Wait till she finds out I have 9 grandbabies. She will shit her pants then.
What is the conspiracy of you having grandkids? What does you having grandkids mean to Dad Aunt and the trolls?
I have no idea.
Are they gonna
But
go after
the fact that they
your
just
grandkids
found
now?
out that I have kids, it was just funny. She was, she called me a bitch, and she was like, I just found out you had kids. It's like, duh. Doesn't everybody have children by this age?
Oh,
It's like, okay there,
sad.
Miss Starling.
You're giving them away.
well,
Oh yeah, that's
And this
that's
is-
true.
this is who I'm. This is the head, one of the big people leading the whole set of trolls that Nora shared, and same with Ham It Up shared some links from her. She's now concerned about Trucker Girl's grandkids. Like you guys, some of you guys don't even know who the fuck Trucker Girl is, and that is who she's going after. These are the type of people that I think it's important that people know that that's the information that they're sharing are people that are been convicted of like being involved in a murder, but also concerned about Trucker Girl's grandkids because of me.
Yep. And the funny part is they don't know anything about me except for what they've made up in their own head. Kind of like me and Chris robbed the Florida convoy, and that's how we paid for our semi. And it's like,
How did you guys pay for your semi?
do what?
How did you guys pay for your semi? You didn't rob. I mean, Ross is the one who robbed the convoy. I'll say that out loud.
Me and Chris have excellent credit. So we went to the bank and we said, we need some money for a semi, and they handed it to us. I have the check to prove it.
Yeah, but we also
And it's like,
You didn't.
we also had a semi that was bought and paid for that we sold, and we took that money and put it as a down payment. So we had $60K already as a down payment. And then we turned around and handed the Kenworth dealership $253,000. Now, where these jackwagons think that our Florida convoy even made $253,000 is beyond me. We pulled in close to 14,000, and they really believe that me and Chris robbed the convoy. When we left, Ross still had that money.
Yeah.
And
Ross took the money.
yeah, so Ross is the one that ended up with that money. And granted, there was not 14K left, because we was buying fuel and we was buying supplies and stuff like that. But there was probably a good $6,000 left. So no, it ended up in Ross's bank account. So where they got me and Chris even took a penny of that. Matter of fact, Ross still owed me money from where I paid for shit out of my pocket, and I still got the receipts for it that he never paid me back.
We paid for our own diesel.
Yeah, and we paid for our own diesel. We never took money from that convoy, ever. So where these people are coming up with this whole, we robbed the convoy and everything else, hell, they was telling everybody that I was the treasurer when I was fucking VP. It's like, that's how fucking stupid y'all are. But
Yeah.
these are your trolls, and because they don't like you, they can't like anybody else, especially if you're friends with us. Because I never did nothing to none of them. I never said nothing about them. And then next thing I know, when you're at our house back in November, December, I got that message through Telegram from Riddle that said, give this to Scott. And it was a cease and desist. And I just said, give it to him yourself. I don't want to be a part of y'all shit show. So I was like, that was my way of saying, please don't put me in the middle of y'all stuff. And then next thing I know, she fucking starts talking shit about me and
Making dolls.
making my cool ass trucker ghoul doll. But I mean, that's how stupid these people are. And none of them know me. They don't know nothing about me. They're all guessing. That's it. And the people that believe their bullshit lies, to me, they're just as bad as the ones that spreading the shit.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I love you guys so much.
Well, we love you too. And if you want to fly into Florida, we'll come and get you from the airport. Come hang out for a week or so and then go back.
Where are you going to go there?
Okay.
And get the ticket?
Either that or I'm going to have to drive out there and give you a swift kick in your pants.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll have to shut the bathroom door and put the toilet seat down and reacclimate to that.
Okay, I'll try not
All
to
right,
be so
Tucker,
hard on you next time you visit.
All right. I like you guys give me a lot of criticism, so I need that. So I appreciate you guys.
Well, come
I'll
see
talk to
us.
you. Love
We
you
love
guys.
you. We miss you.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
Bye.
What's going on?
What's going on? Chi, I got you next, okay? I got you next, Chi.
I want to come up on this
hey,
panel
man.
to tell you guys that I've been with Scott for over 3 years. If it wasn't for this gentleman here, I would have gone to the convoy. I would have wasted thousands of dollars. I would have wasted hundreds and hundreds of hours of my time, which I have no problem doing because I have it and I can do it. The problem is everybody wants to attack Scott without knowing anything about you or your background. All they want to do is troll. When it comes down to it, you are one of the biggest and hardest protesters I've seen in my life. I've been to many protests. I've stood up against many groups. You're standing up against a church that doesn't want to lose. They have the money, they have the resources. They're going to go after you and try and destroy everything you've built. You have built this from nothing. Don't let no one or anybody take or steal this from you. Aaron didn't help you. The foundation didn't help you. You've done this yourself. You showed up to California to help your buddy Jay, to get the word out about Jay. You did that. You have done what you said you were going to do. And in the process, you went and you started taking down this cult. They don't want you doing that. And when you question, and these questions, some of these questions, I'll admit, I had in the beginning about the SPTV Foundation. I've never trusted them from the beginning. Any foundation that is not going to answer a phone call when someone calls, if you are in need and you are calling a foundation, you better be answering that phone call, because I'm not going to call again. I'm not going to keep calling. I'm not going to send you an email. I'm just going to either disappear or I'm going to stay with that cult. So it is up to that SPTV Foundation and Aaron as their speaker to step up and be a foundation. Show your records. Prove to us that we are wrong. Everything that I've looked at, you guys are fake. You had Scott out here yelling for your foundation for 4 months. What have you done to stick up for Scott? Play his videos on your little platforms? Cool. Great. That does nothing for us. All it does is help you, your reaction channels. Yes, some of them do get out and protest. Yes, it is a cult. People don't understand that they don't have the education and they don't have the upbringings that some of us were lucky enough to have. But at the same token, when you get out of a cult, you start learning. And if you aren't going to learn and you're going to jump back into another cult and blindly follow a leader who is tearing down its own members and going after its own community for a person asking a simple question, what are you doing? And you know, I am the first one that will criticize you, Scott. And I've stood next to you for a week in DC, and I will stand next to you any day of the week because I have respect for you and because you have been there. These people don't understand what you have truly done, and it pisses me off. And I am the type, you think Streets is petty, people? I'm petty. So let's get this straight. Don't come for Scott, because we as a community, Scott's people, we will back him 100%. You guys don't understand that. All these people that wanted to jump on the bandwagon, cool. But if you ain't going to stay on the bandwagon, there's the door. We have respect for everybody in our community. But if you want to attack and you want to go after us for doing what we are doing and standing up against this cult, what's the problem? Give me an answer. That's what I want. And, you know, I'm very, very calculated in how I react. And you know, I don't just jump onto this. But when I see people are going after your character, especially the face of a foundation, and trying to use you and using his wife as a talking point, and then saying you're just as bad as David Miscavige, no, I will not have that. You're going against her own uncle. But yeah, you're going to put me in the same, you in the same category as him. It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. But yet you're the one that is controlling the narrative. You're the one that's telling people what to do. Tell me, I've never once seen you say, don't go to this person's channel, unsubscribe from this person's channel. You've always said support. But when it came to you and you asked for support, and you don't ask for support because you have it. That's what they don't understand. But when you ask for support and you ask for people to stick up and stand up and say, hey, this guy ain't on meth. This guy doesn't do this. This is what he does. And they're going to sit and spit in your face. You don't need them, bro. You don't need them. And I don't mean to come up here and yell at you.
No, it's
But-
all right. We're loud people, and that's just what it is.
You know, but any day of the week, I have your back. You know that. So don't let any of these people let you feel like you don't have support, bro. Don't let these people make you feel less than you are. You are the person you are because you expose shit. People don't like exposers. They attack the exposers. They always go after the people exposing because they don't want the truth to come out. So you already know they're going to keep attacking you. But at the same token, they don't understand that these attacks bear nothing. They're falling on people who really know you and who you are on deaf ears. It's going for the people, like you said, that have small channels, or they're going to people that don't want to do research. They're getting the clips, just like Aaron, just like Ononora, and I like Natalie. She's a great person, but they're all clip channels. Anybody can do that. It's not hard to set up a show. I'm not YouTube literate. I could set up a show tomorrow and just react to clips. That doesn't make me anything, because at the end of the day, what have you done for the cause? And I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about people that want to just react. At the end of the day, what did you truly do for the cause other than put money in your pocket for restreaming the people that are out there? I may be an asshole. I may be a prick. You call me whatever you want. But at the end of the day, we know what's right and wrong. And what's happening to you and what the SPTV Foundation is doing is wrong. And if their people and their members cannot see that, it's just like being in another cult. If you can't ask questions, there's a problem. How many questions do I ask of you all the time?
A lot.
So
A lot.
if you can't respond to those questions, and they're legitimate questions, and that it gives you a reason to ask these questions, and you don't want to answer them, that gives me cause for concern. Like, well, what's really going on? And when this foundation can't answer questions, there's a problem. Like I said, you don't set up a call-in number and have people try and call in. That would be like the suicide hotline saying, hey, you guys, give us a call and then they don't answer the phone. What was the point in doing that?
A lot of us did that too.
You know, there's people out there that want to get out, but you give them a fake hope by giving a number that doesn't answer. When I call a foundation or I call somewhere and I'm in need of help, if I don't get that help, like I said, either I'm going to disappear or I'm going to seek it from the people I'm with. And if it's the people I'm with that I'm trying to get away from, how is that really help? You're making me make a decision by you not answering that phone. You're making my decision snap quick. Because how many of these people in the SPTV know how to use a proper email? And at that, how are you going to use an email when Scientology goes through all their stuff? But if you get on a quick phone call and hang up, they may see a number, but they don't know what you were talking about. So why am I going to use an email to say, hey, I'm trying to get out, and it takes you 2-3 weeks to get back to me in an email? Or I call and it takes you 2-3 weeks to get back to me in a call. By that time, it's too late. Decisions have been made. Shit's been done. So how are you helping? please. That's all I want to know. Start answering your phones. It's not an answering service. Start answering questions. Don't walk away from people that are asking questions. Don't say, you're the bad guy. Stop asking these questions. You're causing division. Because if asking questions is causing divisions, that means you can't ask questions. Just follow blindly. We can't follow blindly. I'm sorry. If people are willing to follow blindly and not ask questions, that's what turns a cult into a cult. Because you're afraid to ask these questions. You listen to what I say goes. If you don't like it, there's the door. And if you do try and come at us, we're going to tear you down. They're doing the same tactics as Scientology. Prove me wrong. And I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, like I literally want to leave because of it. Like I literally don't want to protest Scientology.
No, we don't leave. We don't leave. We don't leave. You're too strong to leave. You know why we don't leave? Because you've been by yourself. You stood at that corner for a year and a half, and you did, and look what we did to that corner. Look what we did. Why leave? Why let these people bully you and push you away? Don't let them do that. Don't let them bully you. That's what they wanted in DC. That's what they wanted in 1776. That's what they wanted in the People's Convoy, to bully you. And look what it turned out to be. At the end of the day, the People's Convoy fell apart because it was a fucking scam and a bunch of people ripping people off. 1776, protecting pedophiles. The DC corner, protecting pedophiles. When does it not understand that if you want to protect pedophiles, there's a problem? Call them out. This is about the children, bro. Who cares? This SPTV Foundation, like I said, we don't need them. We do what you've done since the beginning. Be you. And that's what I loved about last night. You were being you again. You have let these people change you. You let them silence you for 4 months because you didn't want to cause division. You finally are coming back to being who you are. And I love that. So don't let these people tear you down, bro. All they're doing should be making your resolve even more to like, okay, you guys want to think I'm a joke? No, I'm going to show you. We as a community are going to show you it's not a joke. We are here to help. But if you guys want to say we're not here to help, we're here to cause division, we don't need to stand next to you. We don't need you to do anything. If you want to come protest, do your thing. You know, I love Aja. She's wonderful. She's a great protester. She's standing next to you. Danny, Leah, Chris, Jess, Streets. They're all great people that you want on your side. And who's standing on your side? You know what I mean? Who was there last night for you? Aja, Danny, Leah. You know, they showed up for you, not the SPTV Foundation, not for Scientology, for you. You are loved, bro, and people have respect for you.
Actually, too.
Make you feel less of a man. Don't, because you aren't. You know, and it's hard for me to sit here and watch these people do this to you, because you know how much I respected this whole community when you first started. But then when I started doing doing research and I started doing stuff, and it was like I couldn't even ask you these questions because I felt I was going to piss you off because, like I said, they were changing you. They were not letting you be you. And it took me a while to say, fuck it. Either he's going to answer my questions and he's going to take my advice, or he's going to say, you know what, Keith? Fuck you, bro. And at the end of the day, you sat down and you did your evaluations, and you came to the conclusion that these questions needed to be asked. But we as a community were asking you these questions for months and months, but you didn't.
I was blocking them. Yeah.
You know, because you wanted to be part of that group. You didn't want to, because you didn't have the answers for these questions. You know, and I don't mean to be long-winded and take up all this time on this panel, but you got to realize people will back you, bro. We have your back. And you got to stay doing you. Don't let anybody change you. You came in this promoting Jay, you're still promoting Jay. That's so you've never really strayed, you know. So you just don't let these people try and control you. You do you, bro. And we'll be there for you.
Thank you, Iron Man. I appreciate it.
So, you know, when you're ready to take a break, and you know where to come.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the help out in DC. You shut down.
The whole thing is, Scott, like I said, you saved me. You saved me from making probably a big mistake in my life. You stopped me by watching your video from going to the convoy. I told you this. And my buddy that said, you got to go watch this dude's video before you join the convoy, before you even think about joining the convoy. And I watched your video and I started doing research, and it was like, damn, this dude's fucking correct. I'm going to stand next to him. He's calling these motherfuckers out. You know?
Did you think I was having a mental break, or do you think I was having a mental break or being paranoid when I did the video?
You were at the time, you were in paranoia. You were in shock because all these people and what was happening. But at the same token, you had to get the information out. You had to let people know what was going on. And it may have came off as you were being paranoid, but I didn't see it. I saw it as this guy is going up against hundreds of thousands, because it's not just the people at the convoy, it's the chats. And you're standing there you're locked in a trailer after hearing these people saying they're going to rob the convoy, they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. And then, it was, how do I not listen to this guy? He is giving some information. And like I said, I started looking into it, and it was like, yeah, he might have been a little paranoid, but everything he was saying was true. You weren't being manic. It was paranoia, and you had every right to be paranoid.
Do you think,
look at all.
Do you feel like, do you feel like that was the same kind of like, I feel like I was in the same state of mind when I left the convoy as when I left DC, or when I left from here after the occupation. It's kind of very similar feelings and stuff.
You didn't leave in a manic mode. You left not knowing what the fuck was going on. You had so many court cases going around. The occupation was being destroyed by bad actors. You couldn't be there. You just had so much literally on your plate. You were going 1,000,000 miles a second and you hit the wall. And you didn't know who to trust anymore. And until you sometimes it happens. Until you can show me that I can trust you, and right now I don't feel like I can trust you, and that's the thing is, it's about trust. And what you guys are doing, you have to have trust. You guys have a huge church going after you. You guys got the LAPD fucking with you. You guys have to be strong. And if you can't trust the person that's standing next to you, what do? You kind of got to step away and reevaluate what you were doing. See, you shouldn't have, if you didn't have to go to court, you should have hung out for another 2 weeks and taken a break, and reevaluated and came back at it. But you didn't have that luxury. You had to go back and deal with the court cases. So you didn't have the luxury to truly sit down and evaluate. You were flying through the evaluation. You had a week to figure shit out. And in a week, you can figure some shit out, but you ain't going to figure everything out. So no, I don't believe that you left in a manic state. I believe that you left in a state of uncertainty and untrust.
This is why I like this motherfucker.
But would you agree with that statement that it was more of uncertainty and untrust?
Yeah, it was all about trust, man. I didn't know who to trust anymore. And a lot of you and Julie's comments, who I blocked. Sorry, Julie. All the comments are the ones I blocked that were questioning the SPTV Foundation and what help that they could actually provide. All those comments started running through my head like, oh, I did this wrong. I blocked people who were trying to expose the truth or who were just asking fucking questions, and just me. Minion number 2 says, I kept telling you to go to Iron Man. And didn't I? Just me, I think, is Iron Man's biggest fan.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, it was 3 years ago when I found you. And ever since then, you've been yourself. Like I said, you came here and you let the group tank kind of change you. You fell into the, I can't go against it, because if I go against it, I'm going against. But you finally realized, hey, I have to ask these questions. I have to. If I don't ask these questions, it's not going to benefit people. How can I keep blindly following without knowing? Because that's what you were doing. You were blindly following. Yeah. And like I said, exactly. I'm glad you decided to evaluate it and look at it from a different perspective. You needed that. And look at it, like I said, look how they're attacking you. Look how they're attacking Laura. Look how they're attacking Liz. Come on, Laura and Liz are 2 of the biggest faces of that fucking community. Stand up for them. Stand up against Aaron for doing that to them. If you can't stand up against Aaron, you're in a cult. If you can't question Aaron, you're in a cult. So, but I will let you get back to doing what you were doing. You stay strong. You keep doing you. And we'll be here, bro.
Thank you, Iron Man. Much love. Really
much love, brother. All right, you stay safe.
Say hi to your pops.
I will.
All right, cool.
Later.
All right, bye.
Damn. Iron Man, that's what's up, man. That's a real motherfucker right there. What's up, Scotty?
It is real motherfucker, man. He always tells me shit I don't want to hear. The truth is hard to hear sometimes.
Absolutely, and it is.
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to say, I apologize. I have something huge to apologize for, and I made a huge mistake. So when the Aftermath Foundation kicked Aaron off for sticking his cock into people who weren't his wife and calling people cunts just for being hot and crazy, I guess, he said he was going to make his own foundation instead. And I thought, great. The Aftermath Foundation is said to help people who want to escape the church, the cult of Scientology. So I presumed that Aaron was going to do something similar, so there'd be more help with those people. My mistake is that I didn't thoroughly watch his video on introducing what the SPTV Foundation was supposed to do. I thought they were there to help people who needed help getting out and needed resources. I thought they were there to help people who, if they call and they are wanting to escape and they were able to get a hold of a phone for 5 fucking minutes, they would get a person. All right. I have 2 graduate degrees. One of them is concentration in social work. I volunteered my time to answer phones. I volunteered my time to help coordinate landlords and other building associations because I can. It was my job in the past to give discounted rent and to network and get relationships with people who can help these people who want to leave with their children without being fair gamed. That's what I thought SPTV Foundation was. I didn't know that it was just to help your homeboys who already had your fucking number. I didn't know that. That's my bad. From watching everything, so much was filtered through my lens of let's help the children. Let's help the fucking children. I was a child. I'm not ashamed of this story, and I've told it before. In kindergarten, I had to have corrective surgery on my rectum because of the sexual abuse that was done to me. I want to help people who are going through that fucking trauma and still questioning themselves like they pulled it in. What did I pull? I pulled it in when I was 5. What did I do in my previous life to deserve that? These people are being told that. That's the truth. Sorry, my chair keeps fucking rolling. That's the fucking truth. I thought the SPTV Foundation was going to help people who wanted to leave, and I was wrong. And I've been criticizing Aaron. I mean, so what if his website says we are a nonprofit organization and the Florida website, state website, doesn't call them that, calls them a not-for-profit. So what? But I want to thank you because I was an Aaron cocksucker too. I saw a man who looked, as Scientologists would call, upstat, with curb appeal, laughing away all of the allegations that were on a Scientology dead agenting site. That's why I ignored all that bullshit. But you brought it up, and I'm not fucking Frankenchi, okay? You did not replace my brain with something else. I've been able to fucking think for 44 years, and I'm still fucking here, and I'm fabulous, bitches. And even though I hate myself in a lot of ways, I know this. I trust myself enough to know that when somebody tells me the truth, whether it's delivered nicely or not, giving me information and looking at both sides is so valuable. And if you can't fucking do that, if you're too hypersensitive, stick a needle in your tit and go fucking elsewhere, okay? And that's it. And we love you at my house, Scotty. We're here all weekend. If you want to stop by, we got some ACs and some cold ones, and we're not going to get all stupid drunk and call anybody cunts in public. So that is all I have to say. Kindly go fuck yourself, everybody else. The racists and the trolls, you can suck my brown nipple. And I there you go. Yes, I was looking for that shit. I couldn't find it to wear right now. But but check it out. I live in an old house. If I don't get my dryer started before noon, then I'm not going to be able to run my ACs without blowing a circuit. So it might need to help with that one day. But we're here all weekend. I'm not telling you what time or when or whatever, because we don't want anybody with 20s on his face to let us smell his BO as a gift anymore. But it's an open invitation, and it can be declined without any judgment. And I love you all, and lick my ass. That's it.
Well, thank you, Chi. You're amazing.
I think you are too. And I'm not an ass kisser of yours. I have a lot of fucking problems with your delivery, and I don't agree with a lot of the shit you say. But that's what.
Let's talk about that. Let's do it right now, because I want to hear those things that people say that I don't listen to or that I don't do. So go ahead.
Well, I myself am just a really small example, but I see people talking shit to you, mad shit, with fair criticism in your chat that aren't removed. So anybody who says that you remove anybody for that, it's wrong. I remove people with their stupid fucking racist, homophobic, transphobic comments, and people who are attacking Nora and accusations of meth and whatever she does with her kids that they don't like. That's not what we're fucking discussing here. She's not heading up a foundation helping traumatized people, which I thought was what Aaron was doing. It's a good thing that's not what he's doing, because I'll tell you what, if I were raped and I wanted to leave the fucking Sea Org and I did some research on SPTV Foundation, just pretending I had access to the internet and regular access to email, I wouldn't fucking want this motherfucker to help me the way he's so dismissive. Okay, but we'll talk about the things that I disagree with. So here's the thing. I don't know if you've been raped, and I don't want you to have to discuss it if you haven't, but there's a thing that happens. All right. So there's a thing that happens with people who have been raped. There are lots of different ways to take somebody's consent away and force yourself sexually upon them. One of those ways was when my uncle was telling me I was such a good dancer. So, I was trained or taught to seduce him. Okay. And then it became my fault. All right. And my whole life I've struggled with, if I had just said no, then maybe the drunken night wouldn't have happened when I needed to go to the ER. All right. So when somebody comes to you and says, I've been raped or I've been sexually assaulted, I would like for you to believe them first, but also there are people who lie about this. There are. And somebody's lives could be ruined because somebody got pissed off and used one of the most terrible reasons, accusations to have that happen. All right. So if somebody comes to you and says they've been abused, to try to make you believe them is tough, because we may have struggled with believing whether or not we're responsible for that shit. So please be more gentle and sensitive when somebody tells you that shit, because no matter how much therapy we have, or neck shots, or love and hugs and support, or husbands with big fucking guns and a lot, it would make my governor want to take a visit to my house and question the legality, the laws. But, we can have all of those things, but there's still that part of your heart that's scarred, that will never get that callous. So when people respect you and say, I've been violated, please shift to sensitive Scott. Because if it's true, you don't want to be part of that violation. I know you don't.
No, absolutely not. And I know that go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I love you, Nance Drew. Fuck everybody who doesn't. Go ahead.
Well, I had Turnip Greens really said that she was really mad at me when I said that I wanted receipts, and
asking for receipts is different than asking what happened.
Yeah, and I didn't. This is not my. I'm not good at this side of shit, right? Like, and I know that I'm not good at the. I will take that advice, and I heard Turnip Greens, and I understand, because I had a family member who didn't have proof, and I believe her, and there wasn't proof. So I apologize.
Yeah, sometimes
if I hurt anyone's feelings by asking for receipts.
It's,
I guess
we have the grace to forgive you for an ignorant response, and it's not willful ignorance. It's just like with the N word. You don't know what it feels like, I guess, until you're in that position and somebody calls you that. When my son was like 6 and we were walking down the street and somebody shouted out "wet" back to us, that's a conversation that you don't really want to have with your kid when he's 6. And sometimes just kind of easing off and hearing trauma in someone's voice and hold off asking for receipts. If there's no problem with asking for receipts, you want to see my receipt, I ain't showing you my fucking bunghole, but there are people who have no proof and just are saying it so they can feel heard. And it's the opposite of feeling heard when you're asked, well, prove it. It's like, not that you did it with that attitude, but that's how it feels. And that's my complaint. And you know what? You're not going to tell me to fuck off because I'm telling you that. Because I don't see how people say that a disagreement with Scotty means you're told off. That's not the truth. That's wrong.
This is far from the truth. And because Turnip Greens has already brought that to my attention, and truthfully, I didn't even realize how insensitive that was. I just didn't I haven't had that type of trauma. I've had family members have that trauma, and the only thing I could say in my defense is that I was thinking about me being selfish, I guess, and what I would want others to ask. I was thinking that I wasn't thinking that, I was thinking that, hey, are these allegations true? I was trying to, I guess, just
may I offer, Scott?
See what the truth was. I didn't realize how insensitive that was.
I get it, man. And I appreciate your apology and explanation. And if I could just offer one more thing, a good follow-up question to that is there anybody else that you believe is in danger? That's a really good follow-up question because it kind of legitimizes the severity of their claim. And also, is there anybody else that's being raped? And so that would be how I'd respond at first. And then depending on the level of relationship, intimacy, trust that you have, to ask those other questions. And that's all I'd like to offer. But that's not why I came here. I came here to I also wanted to mention, do any straight men in here have other straight men friends that they have pet names for with words like honey or maybe like kissy poo? I don't know. But what I'm saying is Aaron's fronting about more than one thing. He's fronting about being a good man. He's fronting about the SPTV Foundation helping people he doesn't know. And I believe that. And fuck you, Aaron.
Thank you for sharing your story, and sorry for being insensitive. I could be very, very insensitive, and I think that's probably one of my biggest flaws. Timing, sometimes with the timing of when I say things.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's a sword. It's not it could be a flaw, but I mean, look at how so many people heard the passion in your voice when you've expressed yourself with that side of Scotty, and the truth was revealed. So I think that there are lots of things that we all have to work on, but please don't shed the brash part of you. Don't, the assertive and sometimes aggressive part of you is so fucking effective. And people like me with dirty mouths and closed ears and, steadfast in their beliefs, sometimes a shakeup, it's what's fucking needed for us to question ourselves. And those of us who have no problem with being a little introspective, well, we're in your chat right now. And we love you. And I'm going to disconnect. But invitation's open.
And we
Scotty.
love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will grow from that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Cabrones. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me see. Brace yourself. This person might be a troll. Will.
Hey, no, I'm not a troll. I've been watching you since the convoy, man, and Dude, it's so disheartening watching what people like Karen. I don't call him Aaron. He doesn't deserve that. He's a Karen. Trying to do what he's doing to you, and it's like, when you first went out there, and I remember the first days you were there, and I mean, there's times I was wondering if you felt unsure, about being there and protesting it. I was kept watching and watching more and more. I seen you come out strong, as to who you are and how you protest, and you seen that attention grow more and more. And like saying, just watching what's been happening is so disheartening, especially from individuals in an organization, SPTV, that, they're used to being in a cult. So it kind of looks like another cult. If you don't see things this way, don't ask questions. What is that? And when I started watching Aaron's videos, and this is a while ago, I was like, what's he really doing? Rarely went in protest. And a lot of times, like him and Natalie, they use streams from everyone else's, do interviews occasionally, but it's like, that's not moving the ball forward. That's not getting anything done. And when you came out there, you lit that shit on fire, man. I mean, in my opinion, you've done more to move that ball forward in protesting against Scientology and getting more people aware about what's happening with it than any of those other ones out there, minus maybe Streets. After listening to your videos, and I went back and I've watched Streets' videos, personally, I feel he kind of lit the fuse, and that may have been something that brought you along, but you definitely elevated that explosion to a new level. And, I didn't see you get any support, from people the way that, they may have should have done it, because you were on the front. I mean, dude, you're getting swatted. You got cops bearing down on with your gun, and the only thing going through my head is, praying to God that they don't see something shiny in your hand, that they don't mistaken something for something else, and things go dramatically and horribly another way. And that's a sacrifice, man. What you were doing, you're standing up literally at the point of guns and going back the next day and saying, I'm not done. And you kept going. You brought that all the ways up to an occupation. I mean, you basically brought all those things together and all those different people together. And, Scientology timed it well with the restraining order. If that hadn't happened, I truly believe that occupation would have went for that whole month. But, to see what's happening now, and, I watched that video before it was taken down with Liz, Laura, and Aaron, and, I got a couple degrees in my background. I've actually taught smaller colleges about body language and facial expressions, communications, and being able to recognize the things that someone isn't saying. And Aaron is a very, very angry individual that has a domination view of women. And what I mean by that is, I was watching that video, and it wasn't anything he said. It was his reaction every time Liz or Laura would try to say something. And it was the narrative that he tried pushing there that even Liz kind of bucked back to. That's not quite how, went in their earlier conversation. And his facial expression that, here's a guy that you need to say this. And if you don't say this, then you're against me. And it's not a cool thing. And he really did that to Laura a lot. And he talks about, you're breaking up friends or whatever. No, he made that choice by doing that. And this whole thing, I'm looking at it, it's like, where's Serge? Why hasn't he said something? Side that happened with you and the things that went down. Let's just put that all aside and let's look at Aaron for a moment. And that's something they don't seem to want people to do. I seen the video where he, it was the waitresses and other people in the restaurant that said he screamed that C word at that woman several times. And, it was within there that he said himself, I guess it was okay to stalk a woman because she was hot. or super hot, as he put it. How is that person
Yeah,
the
that's
head
like
of the?
mind blowing.
How is he head of
Yeah,
an organization
that
like
that
this?
that blew me away, and because I was told that that was a Scientology related thing, and that it was no big deal. And
The only
so
thing
after
Scientology related. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No. The only thing Scientology related to that was how Aaron came up to those police when they first got there. I called you. Like any other fucking Scientologist that calls the cops and expects the cops to do exactly what they want. He wanted those people arrested after he was in there yelling at that woman, calling her a C word.
Yeah, and I would expect any man who's sitting next to his girl and a guy comes up and calls her a cunt 4 times to knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, whatever that dude, why he didn't. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I would have. I'd have beat the
Well, he
fuck out
did.
of that guy.
Well, yeah, no, I know. He hit him, and then
Oh, he did?
Aaron wanted. And, yeah, he did hit him. He got punched in the face. That's why Aaron called the police.
Oh, okay. Now I get. I didn't get that connection.
See, I didn't know the whole. I didn't even know about that incident. I saw the one where he tossed a girl and threw her onto the ground like a rag doll, but I didn't see that. I didn't see that one because I wasn't looking into Aaron. And someone sent me the thing, and I watched it, and I asked somebody, if what that was, and like, oh, it was Scientology related. Aaron explained it all. And so when I watched it, and then I heard him say that, oh, he was drunk, like she said he was stalking her. And then there was a very small little detail too that he said that he'd been at Fusion drinking for 4 hours. But then he said he went up to this girl that he had been drunk messaging 15 months before, and he came up to her and asked her to sign his petition. So you're sitting there drinking for 4 hours at the Fusion bar. Then you go up to this girl that you drunk messaged because she was hot, and then she didn't to sign your petition, but then they then sign your petition, so you call her a cunt 4 times, and then dude punch you in the face. So that was kind of what I took from that whole thing.
I would love to see Natalie or Serge get up on stream and make that make sense. How is this person the head of this organization that's against abuse? We're protesting abuse. And here's this fucking guy. What? And then you got that woman. This is what was crazy is I seen some of this before, like I think maybe a couple 3 weeks before the occupation. I was out searching. I decided to search him because I'd been watching his videos, and he's talking about his story and SPTV or not SPTV, but Scientology making these videos about him and all this nasty stuff. And I'm still learning. So I went and watched those videos, and that's when I stumbled across that one lady's video where it took me a minute to figure out what the hell she was talking about. But I mean, according to what she was saying, she was his mistress, had gotten pregnant, and reportedly got an abortion. Now, if that's true or not, I don't know. That's what this person's saying. And why go make a video about it? And if it is true, again, put all the stuff between you and him and all that aside. What does that really say about the SPTV Foundation and its board of directors when they say, this is our chairperson, this is the best we've got to offer? I mean, really? And then, I try to stay neutral. I support you, dude. I'm definitely in your camp on this. But I do try to remain, I try to stay level and neutral, and just watch everything. And, I will kind of disagree with Iron Man a little bit. I don't know any person in the world that could have gone through what you went through over the few weeks leading up to when you took your break, that wouldn't have some type of break. Holy shit, man. I mean, you've been swatted, guns drawn on you, the occupation with the bad actors involved and everything, the sleepless nights you were getting. Dude, I mean, if you didn't have a little break, I don't know. And I'm not going to say you did. I'm not a crankhead that can watch a person through a video and say, oh, yeah, that person's nuts. That's not me. But I don't know I don't know what I would have done. in that same situation. His stress must have been off the charts. But then he watched a video, or he made a video about you that night. That's where he called you where he said you were doing meth. And when he said that, I just started laughing. You stupid motherfucker. Have you ever seen anyone on meth before? They ain't chubby, they ain't got teeth, they're falling apart. They got pits in their skin. But I kept watching it.
They're not part-time meth users. They must know a lot of part-time meth users because I don't know any.
Well, even part-timers, anyone that I know that has done that in the past, they've got physical features happening because it is poison. It is poisoning you at the same time. But I watched that video and I sat back and I thought to myself, okay, let's take DOA's name out of it. Let's pretend he's talking about someone else, someone I don't know or anything, and I'm just watching it for the first time. And I'm sitting there thinking again, here is Karen, the head of this SPTV foundation that's supposed to be against an abusive organization, helping people get out of it. And here he's up here crucifying a live streamer. And it's like, where does this make any sense for someone of that standing? I mean, to me, that should be almost beneath him. You're off out there going off or whatever. So what? He's got, I don't know, 10,000, I don't know how many, 30, 40, whatever his subs are. The fuck does he care? It's just crazy that he's actually in that position. And I look at people like Natalie and Serge, and please don't think I'm, negative on either one of them. I think they are good people. I really like Serge, but I'm very disappointed in learning this information about their head of their SPTV, and they're part of it. But yet they say they're against abuse. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me how that happens. And as far as you go, dude, I used to do a lot of protesting back in the day when I was younger, and I was a little crazier than most. And they'd always call me a loose cannon. And I said, let him go. He's going to do what he's going to do. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be successful. And that's where you're at. And that's what you do, is you're successful at it. You bring people out. You get people together. Dude, I've never seen some of the things happen that I've seen happen around you. And I'm talking from the convoy to the parking lot to the National Mall and over to Freedom Corner and down into Florida. Their ability to bring people together and focus on a specific issue that most people don't know about, and you bring light to it in a way that other people can't. Is Sir Chlamydia going to go out there and do that kind of shit? Aaron's like, oh, he's an OG protester. Where the fuck is he then? And then I look, he's now best buddies with 86 GOP, and I just can't help but wonder, how much money is 86 GOP funneling over to Aaron directly, not SPTV, but Aaron directly to continue attacking you? Because I'm sure GOP's probably got one in for you. And none of these other people can look at that and wake up and realize it. And here's the most simplest thing and most obvious thing that I hope all the chatters realize this, and if you don't, wake up and smell the coffee. If Scientology goes down tomorrow, SPTV is over. It's not needed anymore. They're not going to be there. They don't want Scientology to go down. They need it for them to continue. It's kind of like Republicans and Democrats. They need each other to keep going at it. They got to, without it, where do they go? Aaron's over. He ain't got no more channel. But, dude, this is the last thing I want to say, and I'll let you go. I'm kind of rambling. It wasn't SPTV, it wasn't Karen, and it wasn't anyone else that I was saving money up to come across the country from northern Michigan to go out there, support, and help. It may have been only a week that I could have stayed there, because I don't have a lot. But I was planning on coming out there because of you, because of what you're doing, because I believe in you. I believe in how you handle yourself in protesting. Some things, you've blocked me a few times, but that's okay, you know. Some things I may
What,
not
like what?
agree.
Tell me what I blocked you over.
Oh fuck, you're going off one day, man. Hardcore is just subject like, oh, you got such pretty ponytails. Ah, fuck you. What stupid shit is that? Boom, I'm gone for 24. But I was just trying to break the ice. Or
You motherfucker.
yeah, there was one night I think La Pooper where you were leaning pretty hard in on some guys, and I think I mentioned, maybe back off a little because they didn't seem like they really were like against what you were saying. It was just they're kind of like baffled by the whole thing. That's what it seemed like to me, and they're trying to understand it all. But you kept going, oh, your supporter, because they did just come from inside there, but they were fucking clueless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was one of those things where he banned me for a little while too. But
I'm sorry.
But straight up, dude. I mean, until I started, with the occupation. I mean, I started seeing things through other streams. I was like, wait a minute, like Becky, pulling out that crack pipe, and I was like, what the fuck, what's happening here? And I've had other financial issues that came up. I couldn't do it. But straight up, dude, I was willing to go drive 2,700 miles. I mean, almost 6,000 miles round trip to come out there and support that protest. Not because of SBT, Aaron, or any of those other idiots, but because you're doing it. And you got a whole army out there across this country of thousands that I know if you start asking, they'd probably, a lot of them would feel the same way. You brought light to something I had no idea about. Now I know so much more, and I do talk to people about it. And, I tell them about it. I tell them about your stream. I tell them, go just search for it. Search for Scientology protest. You're going to find something. And just watch it and see what they're really about, because it is a really nasty organization. I had no idea how bad it was, until you started turning people onto it. And, dude, whatever you decide to do, you do you. If you leave, you leave. If you stay, you stay. Yeah, and this is the last thing I'll say. The one thing that I would hope you don't leave, and that you fight holy fucking hell to hang on to, is your relationship with Laura. I told you this in chat, that is one of the most spontaneous, beautiful loves that I've seen blossom. And it was on freaking YouTube of all places. And you can see it. I think if you ask chat if they agree, they probably agree. So whatever you do, bro, still support you. Don't let that go. It'd be really cool if you get married, because if you do, I'm a 350-pound guy and I got a tuxedo Speedo. You know what I'm saying? But if anything, man, that would be my greatest wish for you. If I never go on live again or anything like that, dude, that's something. It's once in a lifetime, bro, and it's right there in your hand. So whatever you decide to do, I hope that's the one thing that fight with everything you got. And love you, bro. Don't ever think that you don't have people out there that love you. And yeah, now we'll be last. You ever make it to Michigan? I live in the Upper Peninsula. I think you've been through here. My place is open.
I love the UP.
Small. It's not a big or anything, but if you want to go on a walkabout on the beaches.
Are you closer to?
Huh?
Are you closer east or what? Are you by the Porcupine Mountains, or are you on the other side?
Oh, way east. Other end of it.
Oh, you're by the bridge?
Yeah.
You're by the bridge.
But yeah. Well, yeah, man, if you want to set out, check out a bunch of waterfalls, I'll point you in a direction along the beach, give you a backpack, and wish you luck, bro, because it's awesome. But
I got
anyways, I just want to get her to say something because I've been watching people taking shots at you, and a lot of these other ones that should be saying something aren't. And the things that they're willing to accept and then look at other people and not accept, it just doesn't make sense to me. So that's it, bro.
Well, I appreciate
Have
that.
a good day, man.
All right. Thank you, Will.
All right. Have a good one,
All
bro.
right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Crazy Love, I'll get you on after Sweet Sun and Slice. You guys are starting to become regulars here. I like it.
Hi.
I like these panels. You guys are making me feel so much better. Hi.
Hi. I'm giving you a
How you
heart.
doing?
I'm
What's
good.
going on?
I just posted a bunch of crap on my community page about Aaron. About the
What do you
Lindsay
think?
Valandry thing.
Okay. I haven't. I've only watched a little of what Lindsay had said. Yeah. Like, I'd like to know what do you think I've done wrong here in the last couple of weeks?
I think the only thing that you did wrong in this whole situation, because I've been watching you with the Scientology since day one, would just be the homeless encampment, just not having that how you wanted it before you started it, and maybe the people that were let in weren't who you thought they were. So that kind of that hurt you personally in your movement in this whole thing. That's the only thing that I think went wrong personally. I don't think you did anything wrong. I don't think it was your fault. I just think that part of it went wrong, and then, things started going bad for you. In other people's eyes, not mine.
I appreciate that. Trusted the wrong people.
Yeah.
I'm not like at a loss of words, which I'm rarely at a loss of words here. You always get me at a loss of words when you come up. You have such a very chill demeanor.
Did you see my
You reading the
recent stuff
comments?
about the Fabos? No. Did you hear my recent stuff about the Fabos family? They're the creators
No, who's the
of
Fabos
Starbucks.
family?
They're the creators of Starbucks Cake Pops, and they live in Denver, and they're Scientologists.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I love those cake
exposed them.
pops. These things are delicious. You exposed them?
Yeah,
Would you do a video on them?
yeah,
So they make cake pops and they're at the local org. They attend
Yeah.
the local org there in Denver.
Oh, they're huge in Scientology community. Laura even knows them. They're called the Fabos Factor because they donate so much money and they get so much fundraising done. So they're big. They're like whales.
They're the big money whales.
Yeah.
And they're out of Denver.
Yeah. Yep. They're from LA though.
And hold on. I am deleting a few comments. Leave
I'm not even
fucking
paying
everyone out
attention.
of this. Like, why are you going after everyone here? All right,
I don't pay attention to the comments. I'm not even
yeah,
looking.
I just caught this some people just, yeah, I monitor them just so that there's not something super hateful or some information going out that is not, that's not out. So, what do you think of, what do you think I should do moving forward?
Wow, that's tough because if you asked me yesterday, I would have had an answer. But what you revealed earlier in your video, I don't really know because the thing with Laura is just, I don't want you to give up, but I don't know where you're at with that. So I would just say take a break. But if you do want to pursue that, I would just say stay there and just continue what you're doing. I mean, I was so happy to see you out there at La Poubelle last night.
It felt good to be back there. Actually, it felt good to kind of come back to where I was. It was really awesome to have Aja come, and really what really was the most impressive thing about yesterday was how Aja was able to change around a situation that was going bad, and she's rough. She's like me. I'm just like real abrasive. And real abrasive, and I just I thought it was amazing how she handled that and how she just turned that around. And so we all have kind of learned, and I even turned around, like I realized it about 10 seconds before, to take the camera off of her. And she said that, and I just turned the camera completely away from Aja, and I think that was a huge step in the right direction. Just for me to see that, and Aja just really, if we could continue that boycott with that level of compassion and try, it's hard to be loud and to to protest, but at the same time be effective, but not piss everybody off. And so, yeah, it just, I thought she did an amazing job, and hopefully, yeah, and hopefully it continues going.
It's a delicate balance for sure to
So
know how aggressive.
maybe yelling makes people.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance to know how far you should go, how aggressive you should be. I mean, obviously, I'm not streets out there yelling at people. I'm not DOA. I'm just Sweet Sunslice. So people probably laugh at me with my blinged out megaphone, but I know I'm making a difference because I scared the shit out of the guy who's running that school. And I notified at least 20 community members in that community that is a Scientology school. So it's like, sometimes it could be really loud to make your difference, and sometimes it could be really low, but we're still all making a difference.
Yeah. No, we all have a little part in this, some bigger parts than others. And the people putting in the time, the more time you put in, the more you're effective. So is there anything else? I got 2 other people in here waiting to come up.
Just I'll keep watching, and
Any final words?
I'll keep hoping good positive vibes for you all. And if you need anything, I'm here. So thank you so much.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Bye.
You guys go make sure you check out her channel, Sweet Sunslice. All right,
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Yep. Kiko, I'll have you up after Crazy Love is Love.
What up, DOA?
Hey there.
So,
Hi. How you doing?
good. I have a few things. I know what you're going through with like information you know, I have a whole ass file of information right now that I can't disclose. Okay. It's not for safety at all. It's for strategy purposes. Okay. We don't want OSA to know what we're doing. Okay. They don't let us know what they're doing. So we don't want them to know what we're doing. However, what I can disclose is the information that I have, the facts, the receipts, the everything that I have in this huge ass file will be going to the governor, the state reps, labor commission, the FBI, everything. Okay. So I understand the frustration of having to hold all that information. Okay. But when I leave my home from doing, you know, the research and, you know, stuff like that, I can honestly say this research is not mine. I have somebody working on the back end for me. Okay. And they're amazing. Okay. They've been putting this research together and things like that. However, when I leave here, my only goal is to go to that org and protest, alert, make people aware, and talk to people who walk by. Now, my org is very, very home. Hey, Opal, it's on my phone, stupid. But Opal. She's like, oh, I'm in trouble now. But when I leave here, you know, I don't care what other people say about me. I don't care what they do. Like I told you yesterday, I'll watch who I want to watch for different points of information. Okay. But my org is slow. Okay. There's not a lot of people around there. There's a lot of drivers. Okay. And so I take that time of it being slow to strategize what I can do the next time, or what I can start getting, you know. So we're going to get some big old banners. Okay. Because this is a very busy road out in front of our org. So we're going to get some banners, and I say we because I have an ex-Scientologist who also protests with me. But we're going to get a big banner, so the banner can stay out there while we watch the doors, you know, of the org. Just because we don't got a whole lot of people. Now, you were asking the last lady, what have you done wrong? You want me to really tell you what you done wrong?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
This is where I think this is where I stand out from a lot of the other content creators, is that I like to ask that question because it allows me to reflect, allows me to see where I've done wrong, it allows me to see where I've lost people, it allows me to grow and learn from my mistakes. So,
well,
although it makes me uncomfortable and makes me a little squirm in my chair to hear criticism, but I'm ready for it. And
but you know what? Constructive.
Shoot.
Only if you make it constructive. Okay. So after every protest, DOA.
Yeah, I think any criticism, yeah, I appreciate criticism.
Yeah. So after every protest, DOA, what do? You go to the next spot and you start new, right? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you've come on here, you've made your point on who you don't trust, who you don't like, you know, whatever. What I would say is you're not leaving here. You're just starting new. Okay. Go back to square one. Okay. Go back to square one. Go out there, you know, 4 or 5 hours a day, then take a break. Go you know, to the beach, go hang out with a friend, you know, whatever. Okay. Give yourself the time that you were at the first. That's where you've done wrong. You want to be out there, and I get it, because I want to too. I want to be out there all day long, but I just can't, you know. But you can be out there, give yourself, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, and then go have you time. Whether it's going back to your RV, doing some research, thought process, you know, looking through your video, being like, oh, that I could, you know, probably change. Well, let's not do that. Because you know what? All these other people, they're gonna bring themselves down, whoever they are. Okay. You can't save the world, DOA, and you're not gonna. And this is me just being a hard ass on you, because I know that you can take it. Okay. You're not going to be able to save the world, but what you can do is make a difference. And when you make a difference, it's you being you and you being out there, you know? And so what you need to do is just start back. Go back to the DOA that showed up in LA, you know, just out there trying to, you know, get information. Who cares about SPTV? Who cares about Pinche Becky? What's done is done. It's in the past. Let's just move. Like, let's just go. Because we're not here for SPTV. We're not here for John Doe. We're not here for Sally. We're here for the kids. And that's what we need to do. That's what you need to do. Okay?
Yeah.
Take
I agree. I agree.
Go
Yesterday was me going back to La Poubelle.
That was awesome. I mean, I think that's just that's what I'm talking about. You went back there, you know, you weren't, you know, you know, was talking to the people, you know, you were hanging out with people, whatever. And then after that, you had your time. Okay. But we all make mistakes, and we're all going to make mistakes because nobody's perfect. Okay. But what we can do is we can learn from our mistakes. You've already voiced your opinion. Let it go. That's it. Just let it go. And whether you have to go silently into these other people's chats to get information or whatnot, then do it. But not information to attack them, okay? Information to help with your protest. You know, like me, I go into Aaron's chat and I get a lot of the logistics, the legal, you know, logistics of you know, Scientology. Laura, I learn a lot of the inside. Serge, I learn a lot of his story. Natalie, I learn a lot of theirs. You know, like that's what I do. I'm not going to just stop going because DOA said he'd come at me with a bullhorn. Well, I got one too, bro. We can have a fight. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just the thing.
Turn it out.
Come on. Mine's pink, motherfucker.
If I come with a bullhorn, your views are gonna go up, man. That's what people don't fucking understand. You actually should thank me for coming with the megaphone, because I had to realize that in DC that I had to stop going to the Freedom Corner because I was bringing them attention and money and views. So it's tough. So, well, I appreciate all the kind words. I got 3 people. I got Kiko, and then Mina, and then Crackhead Kenny. So, any final words here?
So what I'm going to tell you, DOA, is you do you. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about Nora. No, nobody else. Just stop with that and keep going, because you're here for the kids. You ain't here for them. Okay. And that's just it. Just don't dwell on the past or dwell on what somebody else has done, because only you can control what you do and how you react and how you are, not them. Okay. So I sent you an email. Make sure that you read it.
Beautiful.
And yeah, make sure you read it. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Later.
Go and subscribe to Crazy Love is Love on her channel. Much love.
Much love, bye.
Here comes Kiko.
Aloha.
Let
It's
me-
actually pronounced Keiko.
Hi, you are Keiko. Okay, sorry, and I'm gonna
That's
screw
okay.
it up, so I'm
A
gonna
lot
do
of
my
people,
best.
a lot of people do it.
Keiko.
Tori goes back and forth between calling me Keiko and Kiko because she can't remember, but it's okay. I
The-
just want to say that I missed. Oh, what did
I
you
got
wanna
one
say?
question before you start.
Yeah.
What's with the two glasses? Why do you wear two glasses? I'm
Oh,
just curious. Everyone was saying two glasses.
Yeah, my friend asked me that when I sent her a screenshot of me. I have health issues that result in being very light sensitive, and it took me a long time to figure out that I was having a lot of trouble staying awake for a while, and I thought it was just because there was some kind of sleep disorder issue or whatever. It turns out that it was just because my eyes were so exhausted from the light, even just my computer or indoor lighting, that it was basically forcing me to close my eyes. And so if I don't wear these are blue light blocking glasses that go over my regular glasses because I can't see. And so if I don't wear the second pair of glasses, I pretty much have trouble keeping my eyes open and my eyes hurt and my head hurts. And so it's just to try and make myself more comfortable and to try and stay awake, basically. So that's all it is.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. See, you
anyways,
there's some mean people in chat here.
Yeah, it's a combination issue for me with migraines and fibromyalgia. Apparently fibromyalgia, I didn't know this for years, but one of my doctors just told me that fibromyalgia causes severe light sensitivity in some people. So it is what it is. I know I look weird, but can't help it. Anyways, I did miss.
I saw the comments.
I did miss the beginning, and so I'm not fully caught up. But before I get into it, I just want to send love to Chi. It was really brave of her to come up and share her story, and also to call you out on how she felt you didn't handle the accusations that came out right. And I agree with everything she said on that front. She is right. There are people who will make stuff up, but it's a very, very small percentage of victims who come forward with terrible stories who do that. And sure, if you don't know somebody, how can you know if they're telling the truth? I've known boys and men who've been falsely accused of things. It's horrendous when that happens. But on the other hand, if you're somebody who's been victimized, which I have as well, it's awful when you have people who are acting like they don't believe you're telling the truth. And me personally, I don't expect total strangers to believe anything, but especially if it's somebody you feel is like your friend or somebody in your community who's kind of questioning, it's hard. People need support when they're in that situation, and if it does come out that somebody falsely accused somebody later, then you reassess later. But having the support up front is usually helpful. And I do agree, though, if people aren't showing the evidence, you do have to keep an open mind. It could come out that it's not exactly what people are saying it is, or that the evidence just isn't there. And that's hard. But like you said, you had a family member who didn't have any evidence, but you believe them. And so it's always a judgment call, I think. But there are definitely better ways to handle it than not.
And we went all the way to Texas and knocked on his door and let him know that.
Oh, geez.
Whenever you hear a door knock, I want you to think that we might be here just to say, hey, that was wrong.
Oh my God.
So
I'm really sorry that happened to your family member. It's horrible for anybody that stuff like that happens to. But also thank you for acknowledging that you messed up. That may not mean anything to everybody that felt offended by what you said, but I think it'll mean something to definitely some of the community. So I appreciate that. And also, you should listen to Crazy Love. No, go ahead.
I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, and I'm still not sure what the proper way to handle the situation is other than time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think part of the problem with communities that are online is that people feel that they have to have an immediate reaction to everything. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just take a step back, watch how things go, talk to people behind the scenes, see if there is more information you can gather quietly to help you form an opinion rather than spouting off the minute that something is hot off the presses, because that's usually not the best time to be talking about stuff. And I'm somebody who tends to wait and watch and research, no matter what it is, whether it's accusations or just something I'm interested in or whatever. And I won't necessarily say anything in public for a while because it takes time to learn things. And especially in this situation where we don't have any legal proceedings happening just yet, that may be coming. You know, there's very little information that can be made public because anybody releasing information could be actually in trouble themselves if they were to publicly show pictures or whatever, because that could be considered maybe in the revenge porn category or something. And then it could also jeopardize any case that somebody might be trying to build. And so anybody who has a lawyer is going to have the lawyer tell them, do not be speaking about this, do not be posting videos or other things, because you could be in trouble and it could fuck up your case. So I think we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Maybe charges are forthcoming, maybe they're not, because in some of these cases, you know, law enforcement can file it. Well, you know all this, that law enforcement can file charges, but if a DA decides it's not a winnable case, they're, especially for the lower level stuff, they're not going to bother to pursue a case because they want the wins and they want to spend their, you know, time and money on cases that are absolutely winnable. So even if he has, however, you know, a dozen victims or whatever, if there's not, and because they've all happened in different states, I mean, maybe if a prosecutor in his state wanted to move forward with it, they might be able to do something, but maybe not. And then also a lot of them are going to push for a plea deal. So it may never go to trial. It may never get to a point where there's going to be a lot of public information. So we just have to wait, I think. Anyways, Crazy Love is Love is a smart one. You should definitely listen to her. I thought it was interesting that her criticism was to bring up the fact that you need to, you know, say your piece and let it go. I wanted to say something about some of what happened with Nora. I watched the whole thing, and it was a prime example of what I was talking about the other day with high conflict. I feel like you guys could have had a productive conversation, but that both of you were not in the headspace to do that, and it went off the rails and got to the point where you guys were name calling, which was uncalled for on both of your parts. I also thought it was unfair of her to be telling you that you need to go get therapy and get checked out, because she's, as far as I understand it, she's not your close friend. And if you're not friends with somebody, it's not your place to be telling them that. I mean, I understand what she was saying, because definitely a lot of people saw some of your streams when you were sleep deprived and whatever, and you did seem manic and you did seem like you were having some kind of mental breakdown. But we don't, you know, those of us who don't know you personally, who haven't known you for years, we have no greater context of you to put that in other than your other streams. And I feel like it's impossible for people who don't know somebody to really assess that. But if you do want to know one thing that I have observed with you, and it's not just you, there's other people in the community who have done this, in terms of, I don't know what Nora was seeing in the streams that she watched, but you do have a tendency towards something called perseveration. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. I have trouble with that word. It's where people kind of continue to go back over and over and over again on the same topics and things that they want to talk about. So like, let's say I used to do this a lot. I don't do it as much anymore, but like when I would have bad breakups with guys that I was dating, I would call like 6 different friends and talk over and over and over again about everything that he did wrong, why I was so hurt, all the like.
I do.
And,
I
mean, it's kind of a funny example, but
I'm listening.
Example that everyone can understand is that is perseveration. Like, it's
well,
one
it's
thing
something I do.
Yeah, it's one thing to call one friend and have a good cry and get it all out, and then, you know, you pick yourself up the next day and maybe you're still crying for another 3 weeks or whatever, but you don't have to keep talking about it to everybody every single day, 5 times a day. And that's the kind of thing that happens with perseveration. And it is a symptom of anxiety, depression, PTSD, but also ADHD and autism. So it can be a sign that you have a mental health disorder. But autism and ADHD are called neurodevelopmental disorders. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're quote unquote crazy, but it does mean that you got some unresolved stuff and haven't learned the skills to not do that. So
Well, I have to say something. I have to say something in regards to that, though. I call a bunch of different people because I like hearing a bunch of different people's opinions on the
perspectives.
matter.
Yeah.
So that I'll talk to 15 different people on the same subject, and I get 15 different remarks, and so that helps me better try to come up with my own perspective.
No, I think if you're
really
having
like diversity in
if you're having
perspectives to
productive
that's something I strive for.
if you're having productive conversations with people that you know well, it's not
I'm
the same
listening.
thing.
I'm looking for a battery pack.
Oh, okay. It's not the same thing as perseveration if you are having like productive conversations with people about it. But it's where, you know, on some of your live streams, you're talking about things that happened years ago or even 3 weeks ago. If you're talking about them in every single live stream, it means you haven't fully moved on from them. And yeah, sometimes there's new people who don't know about it, so there might be a reason to talk about it. But I think Crazy Love has a point that at a certain point, you have to move on and kind of look more to the future. And so
I am moving on.
Yeah.
I'm in the final chapter of this. The feels of all this, really.
Yeah. Anyway, I had some big picture questions I wanted to ask you that you may or may not have already thought about. I don't think I've seen you talk about it. You know, whether or not you tap out now or keep going, I saw a bunch of people encouraging you and asking you to please not leave. But I think, you know, just because you're good at something and other people want you to do it doesn't necessarily mean that you can or should. Sometimes you just have to do what's best for you. And so I would ask you, you know, how you're living your life right now and with all the conflict with people in this community. Is this what you want for your life? And what does living your best life look like to you? Either now or 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if you know.
Yeah, it's a good, and I don't know if I can't answer that
Yeah.
one.
So something to think about.
The stream was just helping me kind of go through it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
those are...
thank you so much. Any final words? I'm going to bring Mina up.
Nope, that's it. Take care.
I appreciate your words, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Yo.
I just want to say, arrest Netanyahu, bitch. It's coming on the 24th to Capitol Hill. Just saying. I heard somebody was going to be in town. So, arrest Netanyahu. Get mad, Von Michelle. All right, sorry.
Oh, he's going to be out there?
Oh, yeah, the 24th. He's come to speak to address Congress or whatever the fuck. Nadine made these, by the way. So if you were going to be here, right, I'm just saying, like, oh, and they say something about him on the back, but I don't know what the fuck it says. Sorry. So I heard you're taking advice. Yeah. So I heard you're taking advice.
Uh-oh.
I'm just
Fuck
kidding.
me.
I'm just kidding. No, actually, let me cue. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Yeah? Yes? No?
All right, perfectly.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just 1 second while I
hear you perfectly.
I queue up something, okay? Make sure it's all the way up.
Sure. She's got some. I know who she's playing right now.
I appreciate you bring that to my attention, and I'm still not sure what the proper way to handle the situation is.
Watch. Just listen. Coming up.
Yeah, and you're the proper way, Scott. You don't do a fucking panel with goddamn sticker check raffle about ceasing your fix, okay? That's what the proper thing to do. Not that. Okay? Not that.
You got that?
That didn't start. You don't chase women down the road saying they like rape.
Shut up, Vaughn. Okay. So, everybody, I'm going to go over that list. trying to get Scott to let me do it with Scott, and we could talk about each one of those people because most of them, with the exception of like 2, maybe 3, right, of those people are absolute batshit crazy. Okay. And I have no input, right, on what you should or you shouldn't do. I mean, I do think Netanyahu coming here is a pretty big fucking deal, especially when we're talking about on the, verge of a ceasefire talk, maybe. But like, politics aside, right? I bet this is driving Vaughn insane, though. Vaughn, free Palestine, bitch. All right. I apologize. So,
It's okay.
so
You do you. You're pissing off all my righties right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
And it's
I
okay.
just believe in like
It's okay.
humanity and stuff and like not being genocidal. So yeah, cool. I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting DOA and Vaughn, since you're his biggest supporter. I just wanted to make sure that you hear this. Nobody asked you to ever come on one of my spaces. We would never have Fash Like You on our space. And here's the other thing is she's been saying that we were making fun of her yelled out, screamed out on a YouTube channel cease and desist order, right? Which is not even a thing, but she's saying that we are talking about like how she was sexually assaulted or something and that we were making fun of her. That's just a lie, Vaughn. That never even came up.
You would
We
never.
were
You would
just-
never.
Yeah,
You would never. You would never do anything like that, anyways.
Yeah, I'm laughing about the concept of somebody screaming out like a fucking psycho a cease and desist order. I didn't like. Who cares? But yeah, a lot of those people, guys, are like some of the biggest losers. Like when I read that list, I think I emailed or whatever or texted Scott like I do 1 million times a day. Yes, thank you for making that up too. Some person said that I emailed you and called you multiple times a day, and that we just made fun of everybody. Okay,
not
true
true.
about the making fun of everybody because everybody's funny, but like they like
They're easy to make fun of.
yeah, like it's like the worst. It's like a list, honestly, of the who's who of the worst people in like recent things that you've been protesting, right? WYSIWYG, and you mentioned these, right? He's a J6er, he's a loser. Like he is such a misogynist and he has doxed women that I know. Like, come on. Taco Joe or First Responders Media. I really don't like to call him Taco Joe, but Vaughn is like all excited because she thinks he's a legitimate journalist because he found a I don't know, Algerian terrorist, right? Guess what? It wasn't him. I put out all the documentation, Vaughn. And Fox News, do you know why he didn't get to go on the panel with Fox News about how he found this Middle Eastern brown terrorist who's a Muslim? Oh, it's because it wasn't true. And even Fox News didn't want to be associated with that shit, bitch. All right, what else? Frank Ledford is a
That's telling you a
pedophile.
lot.
And
That's telling you a lot.
yeah, and Vaughn was like, and yeah, so Riddle's trying to like
Like,
casein
how
these people.
was
Make
Vaughn?
it make sense to me.
Yeah. So you guys know. Yeah. So you guys know. You guys are hearing about some of the lore. I showed the list yesterday. My internet wasn't good, but Dad Ant is the same people who Nora shared, and whatever Ham It Up shared it too. They're sharing that as information.
It's
and
not.
They think that I'm what was it that I'm blackmailing you? Wasn't that what
Oh
I
yes,
heard?
you're blackmailing me. I'm afraid of your bullhorn.
Didn't you message me that?
Yes, yeah. They think I'm blackmailing. You're blackmailing me
It
that
should
I
be,
must.
damn it.
Yeah. What? Why? How could you blackmail
But you have
me? What?
I said you better be afraid of my bullhorn, but
Bitch,
no,
I will get
you
right
have a
up
bullhorn
in
too.
there. You be so fucked. Oh, hold on. Guess what? Look.
I did bullhorn your friend that one day. I still
got
like her,
a
even though she
huge
doesn't
one.
like me. Oh, damn.
Hey,
You got the 75 water.
yeah. But
Damn.
this is like
That's a 75
comparison.
watt.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
So it's
yeah,
like
that's a 50. That's a 75 water.
and look,
Damn, gee.
look, the Proud Boys. Kiss my anti-fascist ass. Oh, the road to
Got all your
fascism
stickers.
is paved with the people who told you were overreacting. Trump is a loser. You remember that chant, right? A little baby loser.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, MAGA friends. I'm still your friend here.
Yeah, you could be friends and still like, you know, have
Yeah.
opposite views, which is crazy. But hold on.
Vaughn, I am not being accused of, I'm not being blackmailed. Nobody's making fun of your sexual assault. I do not care, okay? I don't know what you're saying right now, but I'm sure it's fucking awesome. My name is Mina. Nobody wants to come to your house. Nobody gives a fuck. Wherever you live in Pennsylvania, nobody is coming to yell at you or talk to you. You're just an irrelevant old lady who lives in a house with 6 dogs, piss pads, and AstroTurf grass. And I'm glad you moved the fake ficus trees over to the neighbor side of the fence. How do they feel about that, bitch? Stop telling lies about me. Bye, Vaughn.
Sorry. You're welcome.
Oh, you just want to work her up.
Vaughn!
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm done. My only advice for you is
Any final words?
Yes, my only advice for you is to, you know, enjoy yourself and fuck all these people. The lady yelling yesterday, the yelling lady, she was getting on my goddamn nerves. So I just muted it and started trolling in your chat. Please stop timing out Cryavon or AstroTurf and piss pads. Please stop doing that. Is that you timing her out?
No.
Please stop timing her
I don't
out
know.
because she is
I have a few mods I just modded up randomly.
okay. Just yeah, if you guys could stop that, please. It just
We got
her.
you.
I don't. Oh yeah. And all I have to say is yes. Tomorrow I'll be making fun of Vaughn specifically, and a bunch of J6ers who and Coringe. Have you told them about Coringe? Is Coringe on that list?
No,
Coringe got a couple
cringe
drinks.
is on the list. I just
Yeah.
explained that.
Coringe got a couple drinks
She got
thrown at her yesterday for being a dumbass in a
Oh,
restaurant in
nice.
DC. Yeah.
Nice.
So
In DC?
yeah.
Oh,
And so
nice.
if you want, it's JFC, you annoy me. Please come to my space, except you, Vaughn. We're going to talk about you, but you can't be there. All right. It's at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night. And if DOA is not streaming, come over or just listen to it on record. Okay.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Crackhead Kenny's next. Bye. Peace. All right, remove. Give me 1 second, Crackhead Kenny. I gotta find my battery pack. Give me 1 second. Let's see. It's got power. No power. Power. All right. I got only about 10% battery, so we're just gonna ride this out. I can't. Yeah, 10%. I got MI and selfless, and my battery, my thing should be dead at this age. So if I die out, it's because my battery's done and it's over. Add the stage. What are you doing? Hold on. Try and crack it, Kenny. It's not letting me do it.
What's up?
There we go.
I don't need that much time, bro. I ain't here for all that drama and all that. My thing with
All
you,
right.
you being. Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Man, you down on yourself?
Yeah, I can
and
hear you.
Doubting yourself, bro. Stop. That's my only criticism of you, bro. Keep going. You the heartbeat of this shit, bro. Don't give up. This for the kids, Ron. They can't consent. Your heart in the right place, bro. You human, bro. Everybody makes mistakes, bro. I'm here to build you back up, bro. Because the drama is making you somebody that's not you, bro. You the excited one, the go, the head of the line, bro, that keeps everybody going, bro. That's why you important, bro. That's why you have all the stress that you have, because you the one that keeps everything in line and going, bro. Without you, there's nothing. You the heartbeat, bro. Keep going, bro. This for the kids, man. Your heart in the right place, bro. You the one that everybody needs out there, bro. You down on yourself, don't be. You the one that gets out there and hoops and hollers, and that's what we need, bro. That's what keeps it going, man. There's steps to this shit. The building don't fall at once. It got to come brick by brick to fall, bro. This might be the pieces. That's the bricks, man. Everything happens for a reason. Keep your head up, man. Stay strong. You built for this shit, man. You know this. Come on, DOA. I understand personal, things, don't, hey, it's for the kids. Let's stay focused, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't let all that drama and all that get you down, bro. Because the reason why you got everybody coming at you like that, because you're doing something, man. You're doing something. If you wasn't doing something, you wouldn't have haters, man. You wouldn't have people trying to take you down if you wasn't doing something. If you realize it or not, people look up to you, man, and want to follow your footsteps and show them how to lead the way to take that shit down. It's a fucking cult, man. I see a lot of stuff. And I could see a cult-like mentality. Keep your head up, bro. Stay strong, bro. You the heartbeat to this shit, man. For real. That's why everybody comes to your chat, wants to join your panel, bro. And talk and say what they want to say. Even it may be negative, it may be positive. Some things go in one ear and out the other, but some things stick. And the things that stick is the important ones that you can stay focused on and move forward. Everybody makes mistakes. The thing is, you learn from them mistakes and keep going. It's a minor setback for a major comeback, bro. You always got to believe in yourself, man. Believe in yourself,
This
bro.
fucker's spitting poetry up in this bitch.
That's the main thing, bro. No, I've been through a lot. See, it's not my thing to share everything I've been through. But one thing I wanted to say to you, and it's not for the public and everybody to talk about and hear, but believe one thing. I know where you're coming from. I've been at battle with PIs and all that, bro. You're not crazy, man. You was lacking sleep. You had everybody and everything coming at you 1,000 different ways. You didn't know where it was coming from. I understand. I believe one thing. I know you're not crazy. You're not on fucking meth. And you was just being human, bro. It was human nature on what you was going through. Not everybody understands. I do. Believe me. And that's why I'm still rocking with you, bro. But you the heartbeat of this shit, bro. And always remember, you here for kids, man. The kids that can't consent. I fucking hate chomos. I've never been in. I don't have a dog in this race. I just despise fucking chomos and anybody that covers that shit up.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Like, that's the only reason why I'm rocking with you, bro. Because I don't believe in fucking over children or the elderly, bro. People who can't defend themselves. Like, come on, man. That's why we here, bro. That's why you here, bro. I know your heart in the right place, bro. You wouldn't be hurt if it wasn't. Don't let nobody tear you down. Especially people like the People X ones. I'm not naming names because I'm not here for all that. I'm here to build you back up, bro, and keep you strong, man. Don't leave, man. But everybody, I mean, you're a man. You're going to do what you need to do for yourself, bro. But I'm encouraging you not to leave, bro. They need you there, bro. It's a tunnel, boss.
No, thank you.
And I'm going to leave it like that. Stay
tunnel.
strong, bro. Kids can't consent, and fuck Scientology. Peace, bro.
Fuck
Stay
chomos.
strong. Fuck
Gee.
chomos. You right. Peace.
Thank you. Am I?
Hello. You hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, how are you
Change
doing?
talk. It's like a roller coaster. I got so pissed last night. I thought I
Like a
was.
roller coaster?
Oh, yeah. Last night was a bit crazy, and I wanted to come on to express how I felt about the conversation and how it went. And I try to not speak ill or put people down, but I got so triggered and so upset about Nora and the way she came on that conversation. And for me,
What's
the way she attacked you, the way she gaslighted you, the way I look at it is that they are trying to undermine you by gaslighting with mental health issues, with drug problems, with stuff in your past. And I don't care, but even a blind hen can get a corn sometimes. If you are mad or uses drugs, it doesn't say that you lie all the time or can't say the truth. But the gaslighting is that they are undermining you. So after that, no one should believe you. And that is occulting. That's what they are trained in. And it triggers me to no extent. I can't find the words. Even talking about it, Scott, makes me rambling, and I'm sorry. I got lost for words yesterday, and I went in a dark place and speaking a way I usually don't. And I believe you should try to think, I don't know, I've been alone, and I try to figure out who to trust, who not to trust, people telling me to take a break. And I'm feeling if I sit down now, I'm afraid that I can't stand up again. So I have to keep on going. At the same time, I try to figure out what's best for me, what's best for the one I love or the ones I love and the cause. But they are trying to take your voice away. And I hate it. I just hate it. And like Crackhead Kenny said, you know you're doing good when they attack you so much and go so low. Then you know you're on the right path. That's what my guidance is. When I pisses people off, I'm on the right way. Because if I was nobody and people wouldn't care about what I say or what I do, they would leave me alone. When you pisses people off the way you do, you know you're on a right track. You still there?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Add this.
Oh, hey.
Hey, I realized I could go on my phone. So sorry for the last caller. Thank you so much. I'd be more than happy to get you back on. I just my battery died, but I'm on my phone. I forgot I could be on my phone with StreamYard. I can't do it on YouTube, but on StreamYard I could come back in after it dies. So here I am. Hey.
Nice save.
Yeah. Woo. What's going on, Selfless?
Oh, I mean, a lot, right? You know.
Yeah.
We're in the time where the fast bullets are flying. And yeah, there's so much changing like the frickin' sands. I could not believe what happened last night. I couldn't believe it. It was hard to watch, although I did, and tried to go back and forth to the reactions, and was in Nora's chat last night, and what I guess I got timed out for 24 hours for saying that she was misrepresenting the interactions between Aaron and Liz, and saying that she knew for definite fact what Aaron said during their phone call and a bunch of other things that she couldn't possibly know and was asserting as fact. And so I said, that seemed to me to be gaslighting, and that you were going after, a victim of long-standing abuse, and I don't know, being kind of shunned by people in this community over and over again for very little reason. And it was happening again. And so I had mentioned her PTSD. And so she responded that I, in fact, was gaslighting the chat, and asked me to look up the definition of gaslighting, which, if anybody doesn't know, and I did know at the time and have known for some time, it comes from a movie from the early 20th century called Gaslight. And it's a story of somebody that is driving this shut-in crazy by telling them that they're going blind, convincing them that they're going blind, but they're turning down the gas lamps in the house every night, dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And so the person thinks they're going blind. And so, no, I know exactly what it means. It means to misrepresent knowingly reality, right? And try to superimpose that reality on somebody else, and in somewhat a malicious way. So I don't know what her intent is, but the effect is damage, unnecessary damage to Liz, and also unnecessary damage to Laura, and unnecessary damage to yourself, with a bunch of wild accusations about mental health things that, again, couldn't possibly know, and substance abuse issues that they couldn't possibly know, and are just not experienced enough to properly diagnose. And as I think many people here have said, who have experience with people who are in these various states, yeah, it didn't look like meth. It didn't look like amphetamine psychosis. I've seen people in the depths of amphetamine psychosis, and this wasn't that, to me.
No,
So,
I hate
yeah.
meth. I hate meth. I hate meth. I hate alcohol. I hate a lot of shit because I just don't like how people are on them.
It's awful. I've lost friends to it. I mean, people 20 years older, beyond their age, in their early or late 20s. Yeah, it's devastated our generation in a way that's it's going to take some more calculating to sum up all of that damage, but it's it's historic. It's such a serious issue. It offends me to the core that these issues are bandied about just like any other mild insult or something. Like, I think very many of us have lost people to substance abuse issues, and to go about this willy-nilly as just like regular internet banter is, I think, beyond the pale. It's unconscionable. And for me, it's not something that I can easily forgive.
Yeah, I was trying not to take it personally, but when she was saying that Aaron never said you were on meth, and even this morning I'm reading the comments. Every comment was about meth and crack pipes, and just comment over comment over comment. And usually comments don't affect me at all, but there's such a large group of them doing it that it's such a huge group doing it that it's having an effect on me. And and I've had the comments affect me before through the years here, and I've really been good until this last week. This last month has been the last 3 weeks have just been overwhelming to where I want to quit, I want to stop, and I don't want to do this anymore because it's messing with my mental state and I'm questioning if I am who I say I am, and if I really believe in what I believe. And I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave for a whole bunch of different reasons, but all the people that helped out get me here, and the people who helped out with the occupation, who I have so much stuff that I could use to do other stuff, and it's just I feel like I'm letting people down if I leave. Like I just can't leave, and so there's a and I want to leave. I want to leave. I want to be out in the woods. I want to be at waterfalls, and then but even like going to La Poubelle last night, a couple people showed up because I was there, and so that it's like if I don't go there, then that's going to stop. And that's what I'm worried about, specifically because it's not my started, and I don't feel like anyone's responsible for it because I started it. But I feel a responsibility to go back there. So there's this burden on me that I want to be there,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I've seen what my actions have done to my relationship with Laura and my responses and all that, and they're also in her ear with all sorts of different comments and everything, and so I don't have any control of that, and so it's just become very hard to hear, and so it was this panel, like I really was ready to leave, and now I don't want to leave now. Just having the panel and just having people come up and hearing everyone's different opinions and criticisms. And one of my biggest things is people say that I don't allow criticism or I block anybody who doesn't believe what I believe, and that's so far from the truth.
Pretty much as I've seen it. I mean, you know, you have days where you're doing things for effect, as far as I can see, and you'll set up rules on the fly, but that the idea that you don't allow criticism, you allow deep, savage criticism, the likes of which I think very few other creators allow in their chats.
Yeah, and but I also try not to allow criticism of other streamers.
Yeah.
And so
that's been a good line to hold.
Yep, and it's been a good line to hold, but I've also blocked a few people who were, I believe, speaking some truth, and so that sucks. I mean, I did have the boundary set, and you know, if it was sent through email and stuff, it would have been a different story, I guess. But and that's why I say, you know, send the criticism via email. But yeah, it hurts. It hurts going into other channels and seeing the criticism of me, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, don't let it take away from everything that you've already done. People are so quick to forget what all of this came from, like what led up to the occupation. And I oftentimes remember back to the night at the Viper Room and how we were all together, and most of this was in the future, and we were all cool, like having a wonderful time around, like centered around this kind of cultural thing that we were doing. And it hasn't been that long, and the divisions that exist now are so deep into people seemingly like as solid as buildings, and they're just not. They're just not. This will fade. And I also take issue, like people trying to erase everything that you did, like starting the freaking cookout, making the more family atmosphere, and that building up to you, like having a whole line when I got back to LA, like a whole line of people, and then moving it to LRH Boulevard and provoking them to get like freaking, their top security people out there, and making them spend resources and making them make moves that are making them look like fools. And I can't, it's hard for me to account for people's so quick willingness to discard all of that progress and all of those wins because of some internet beefs and some hurt feelings, when like nobody's been physically hurt. Like the level of even the apparent, misdeeds are so low next to the work that's been done and what is possible right now. So I also feel the same way. I've been overwhelmed with all of this stuff. I've been attacked under the table and like a fairly small channel by a cadre of mods for months and months. And then it gets out and it kind of doesn't stop. Like Ellie goes away, but her whole influence sphere is still there.
Yeah.
generating all sorts of smack against
Yep,
me. And now I've got like Poe on the go, Aaron and Nora on my back.
Yep.
So
Well, and it seems like that Ellie thing is connected with all of them. It's connected with all the bad actors that I've said. Ellie is the common denominator. Not saying it's a grand conspiracy or anything, but she's involved in every single one of the people running this. That it's an issue. Period.
Yeah. And I mean, with over 50 wrenches, right? At top count, and for running as far as she was with pretty large influential channels by the end of it, she got into every little nook and cranny and ingratiated herself to so many people that, you know, all of the good feelings that they had with Ellie that she was using to pretty much manipulate the whole scene from behind the scenes, this kind of nicey nice grab at people's minds with a bunch of oxytocin and dopamine hits. You know, that still carries. People still have that reaction to, you know, the leftover mods that are out there and the people that are still generally supportive of that. And all of that story has been washed away in the last two scandals, and even the Louis Repetto thing is being subsumed by this just like plain old internet beef, which it also shows, unfortunately, the priorities of some of this community, which I find abhorrent.
Yeah. Man.
But it's what the internet produces. It's what this format is. And it's what plays is this kind of conflict. And so, I mean, to get viewers and to get people interested, this will regenerate into just more interest generally, as long as it comes back into some kind of form that people can really get behind and makes them feel good again. Because at least for me, I think I'm feeling what you're feeling. Just it feels weird. I'm trying to make it feel right, and it feels weird. We've been out like flyering and not filming it and trying to do you know what we can, trying to support our friends, and I'm trying to find a way to get back out there in front of the org, and it's just tough, but I am going to find that soon.
Well, I hope you do, and it is I feel like, oh man, the emotions that I've dealt with this last month has just been overwhelming, and I think my biggest thing was the abandonment of the SPTV community after all that I've been through, and not just not even being able to just, you know, give me a little grace, like, oh, you went through all this, you were like, it's just this so hard line of, you know, and also with the comments. One of the comments that's really just getting to me is when are you going to start protesting again? When are you going to start protesting again? And it's like, I literally just went to court, you know, like 3 times. Like, I can't even get through my mental head to get onto the computer to get the stuff I need for court together. And it's like,
how many swattings, how many arrests, how much more do you need? Like, and like, it's the conversation hasn't been trauma informed, basically, and just saying, okay, your mental state is all your responsibility. No, people fall down, shit like this fucking happens, and we need to be there to fucking catch them. And especially if they incurred like the stress load of 7 swattings, multiple arrests, all these street toughs coming after you, straight up freaking like dead-eye killer gangbangers knocking your shit over, and on and on and on and on. And people are giving you any kind of smack for having any kind of mental health thing. Like, even the criticism of like your the panic attack that you had on LRH Boulevard, I couldn't fucking believe it. Like, And well, I can, because people are generally ignorant about mental health issues to a large degree. I've suffered with mental health issues most of my life. I'm a childhood SA victim, and I'll be dealing with it. I'll be in therapy for the rest of my life. And I've seen it. I've seen it in my peers who have like fallen much, much further in lockdown wards or whatever else. The bigotry that's shown to them and the total callous indifference that's shown to them because they had one of these episodes and they're working their way back. And the lack of grace shown to you is a part of a lot of what I've seen in my lifetime having to deal with this. And I'm sorry that you've had to face it, but it is typical, I think, and especially in our culture.
Well, and what I don't understand is everyone else is allowed to call out bad actors and say that this person's not good, but like I'm not allowed to do that. And I'm not saying cancel them. I'm just saying that I don't want anything to do with them. They, either A, they were ignorant, willfully ignorant, or it was some type of larger conspiracy. And I can't say for sure. I can't speculate and say what's going on. I can't say that Ellie is controlling all of them. I can say is that Ellie is a mod for almost all these people. Her and Genwell are one and the same, and they're in all these different chats. And do I believe like PJ Becky or any of them, or like Osa, or I'm not sure. I just don't know. But
Yeah,
what I do know, what I do know is that when I called Danny, and Danny said that he was about to take the plea deal, I fucking started shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I called him because I was worried because 86 got the lawyer. He had called me before. I woke up in the morning. I was like, 86 got that lawyer. I just need to fucking check up. I don't trust 86. He doesn't seem to be he doesn't seem to be here for all the right reasons. And when I heard Danny, and I was hearing what was being said of the lawyer and the lawyer threatening immigration stuff and all these other things, and telling Danny it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and you'll never have a deal like this. And I'm thinking like, we're in a restraining order, and he wanted to agree to the terms of the restraining order minus 50 yards. So that wasn't a deal of the century. You were literally, and it wasn't just a bad lawyer and a bad firm. Why would you get none of that makes any sense. And to me, my paranoia of 86 might have saved Danny from being able to go back to the Blue Building. And thankfully Streets came and was able to say something too. And so, but my paranoia and my not trusting him helped Danny. I believe it helped him.
Well, at least, you had raised the question. You had raised our kind of immune response to this kind of BS coming from him. Without those questions, we'd be like, oh, maybe it couldn't possibly be. But either way, this lawyering, this is bad for a California public defender who's friends with the cops.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like that stuff. I mean, the amount of plea deals in the California system given out by public defenders is legendary. But that's what it seemed like to me, getting railroaded, basically. And for that amount of money, that was poor. And
that amount of money, that doesn't even, you don't even consider an offer at the beginning. So the fact that there was $6,000 spent on Danny, on the lawyer trying to get Danny just to agree to the restraining order was fucking insane.
Absolutely insane. Yeah. It makes no sense whatsoever. And so it does lead to a bunch of questions. What else is going on? Because this is so atypical of what, some kind of legal performance from this kind of a firm that has experience with exactly this organization. So I hear tell, right? So you'd think that they'd know better and that this would look very, very bad. And it does. And I mean, it was great that Streets could come up. I mean, Danny's got one of his lawyers, right?
I'm not sure I'm not sure if he actually got Dorothy or not.
Okay.
I know that they just paid, just gave her $5,000, whoever it was, $5,000, but their PayPal flagged their thing yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
they're touchy, PayPal is. But I mean, I think anybody could do better, certainly. And it's too bad everybody's name in that whole episode, in that whole week of like legal proceedings, again got totally marred by an internet beef where there was a major, like one of the worst episodes, you know, Danny almost getting screwed over by this lawyer, and then you facing off with Kay Moxon and getting your continuance again, just like got lost in the churn of everything else that's going on. And those were, I think, extremely significant. And especially this is the work we're trying to generate.
Yeah.
Getting decisions like this and generating a record through the court system is going to create a body of evidence and cases that can be cited that will give more leverage against them, each and every one. So yeah, I hope in the future more attention is paid to these things, and you know, we can get off the side missions so much.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to have like
I like side missions though.
The whole
I'm
drama and all that stuff. You need this.
Yes, no, I agree.
This is a cleansing. I really like having panels to allow everyone to talk. That was something Pearl said, that they're not allowing anyone to talk. It's just, you know, and I really took that from Pearl, and it was like, I need to start running some panels. I like having the talk. I like taking criticism. I like hearing what everyone has to say.
Well, I'm sure, you know, anybody here that's a regular, and you know, I'm also probably going to take some incoming just for being here and talking to and associating with you.
Yeah, because
it seems like there's a witch hunt right now, and you might be the king witch, or maybe it's vampirism is better. Like you're the lead one, and if they go after you, then we'll all return to normal. I don't know, zombie, whichever one. They're on some kind of ideological hunt that doesn't have a whole lot of logic, and the damage is only starting. And I just hope they put down the sword, and everybody just stops fucking swinging for a little bit, so that we can at least figure out what we want to do next.
Yeah, I'm done swinging. I think I've made my point, and people could believe me or not believe me. I feel like I needed to have old Nora on last night, though, to finish that off, because it seemed to be, Nora seems to be like being the gatekeeper for it all, and so I had to
making a lot of declarative statements, you know, about things that she couldn't possibly know, and trying to form a narrative. I mean, it's the same narrative Aaron was trying to assert on the live with Liz and Laura, that he was insisting upon and gaslighting them by insisting upon it. And I didn't catch the live. I like woke up at 4:00 in the morning and watched it before it was taken down, and I was absolutely disgusted by the abusive tone, the gaslighting, the interrupting, the insisting on having a conversation his way on somebody else's channel, giving no deference to the channel creator, you know, or to two people who were in an emotionally like kind of open and vulnerable state after talking about their childhood trauma, and kind of taking advantage of that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I appreciate all your kind words. I appreciate you and what you've done, and I'm going to let you have the final word here. And so if you want to just close us out with some words of wisdom or just something funny or whatever you want, however you want to close it out.
All right.
I just want to say before you say that, I want to say that I'm done swinging. I've done my swings, and now I'm going to go back to protesting. I will be having more panels because I feel like the panels give the chat an ability to come up and speak without being censored, and whatever it's a criticism or anything. And so, and I apologize to anyone that I hurt in the path through here. They said play a song. But all right, I'm going to let you finish it off.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm hoping for better days for everybody in this movement, no matter what side you think you're on. You know, this is going to fall together at some point. We're going to have maybe a continuing difficult summer, but I see this all falling together by, the end of August, early September, because the things we have in common, the things that we're all looking to accomplish are far, far greater than these differences that we find that we're having, based pretty much on the reaction or the aftermath of an event that was somewhat problematic, but also had some shining, productive points for us as a movement. So yeah, I'm wishing for better days for everybody here. Treat each other well out there. All right.